Welcome back to the Hollywood Con, where we dive deep into the most jaw-dropping scams, frauds, and mysteries in the entertainment world. Today, we're unraveling the story of a woman who fooled the elite, scammed her way into New York high society, and almost walked away with millions. You might know her as Anna Delvey, but her real name is Anna Sorokin. And her story, it's one of deception, ambition, and the power of illusion. Picture this: a young, glamorous socialite, dressed head to toe in designer clothes, sipping champagne at the most exclusive parties, staying at five-star hotels, and rubbing shoulders with celebrities, CEOs, and New York's elite. She spoke with confidence, carried herself like old money, and had an air of mystery that made people want to know her. She said she was an heiress, one with a $60 million trust fund waiting for her in Europe. But there was just one problem: none of it was real. So, who was Anna Delvey? And how did she pull off one of the biggest socialite scams in modern history? Let's go back to the beginning. Anna Sorokin was born in Russia in 1991. Her family moved to Germany when she was a teenager, where she lived a pretty normal middle-class life. Her father was a truck driver and later started a small business, and her mother worked as a homemaker. But Anna, she had bigger dreams. She was fascinated by wealth, fashion, and high society. In 2013, she moved to Paris to intern at the fashion magazine Purple. And this was where she first started using the name Anna Delvey, a name that would soon become infamous. By 2016, Anna had arrived in New York City, and she had one goal: to reinvent herself as a wealthy German heiress. She claimed she had a massive fortune overseas and was in the process of launching the Anna Delvey Foundation, a high-end, members-only arts club that, of course, needed investors. The foundation, she said, would be an exclusive space for artists, celebrities, and business moguls, with a planned location inside the historic Church Missions House on Park Avenue South. The price tag for this dream? A cool $40 million. But there was one thing Anna was truly good at: faking credibility. She knew the right names to drop, the right places to be seen, and the right way to carry herself. She ingratiated herself into elite circles by staying at luxury hotels like the Standard and 11 Howard, often living there for months without paying. She always promised that her trust fund would cover everything, and somehow people believed her. Anna had the look, the designer wardrobe, the confidence, the connections. She made friends with high-profile figures, convincing them she was on the verge of securing millions in funding. She spent thousands on personal shoppers, private trainers, and luxury experiences, all while delaying payments. But behind the scenes, Anna was running on borrowed time. She was using a classic con artist trick, what's known as the float. She would book expensive hotel stays, rack up thousands in charges, then delay payment by claiming wire transfers were coming from her European bank account. She scammed hotels, restaurants, private jet companies, and even her own so-called friends. Anna was a master at exploiting trust. She targeted high-end hotels that catered to the wealthy, knowing that staff would be reluctant to press a well-dressed, seemingly important guest for payment. At 11 Howard, one of Manhattan's trendiest boutique hotels, she lived in a luxury suite for weeks without ever putting down a valid credit card. She would tip hotel employees with $100 bills, reinforcing the image of wealth, all while dodging questions about her payment status. But she didn't stop there. Anna took her scams to new heights. Literally, she managed to charter a private jet from Blade, a luxury aviation company, for a trip to Omaha, Nebraska, to attend a high-profile investor conference. The flight alone cost $35,000. Anna, of course, assured them that the payment was on its way. It never was. She walked off the jet as if she owned it, mingled with business executives, and disappeared before the company could figure out what had happened. Blade would later take legal action against her for fraud. She also deceived some of New York's top financiers. To secure the funding for her fictional Anna Delvey Foundation, she convinced banks like City National and Fortress Investment Group to consider granting her multi-million-dollar loans. She forged financial documents, claiming she had assets overseas worth 60 million euros. When one of the banks requested a $100,000 deposit as collateral, she convinced a friend to front the money. She spent the cash on luxury goods and high-end dining instead. And the cons weren't just financial. Anna also manipulated friendships. She would borrow expensive designer clothes from friends, promising to return them, only to ghost them when they asked for their belongings back. She once had a friend buy her a first-class plane ticket to Los Angeles, swearing she would pay them back. She never did. The cycle was the same. Take, delay, and move on to the next target before anyone caught on. Despite how elaborate her scams were, Anna wasn't careful. She left behind unpaid hotel bills, skipped out on restaurant tabs, and ignored repeated calls from businesses trying to collect what they were owed. It was only a matter of time before her illusion unraveled. One of her most shocking scams is a luxury trip to Morocco that would become one of the biggest turning points in her downfall. Anna invited two friends, Rachel Williams, a Vanity Fair photo editor, and Casey Duke, a celebrity personal trainer, to join her on a lavish vacation to Marrakesh in May 2017. She promised them an all-expenses-paid trip, staying at the luxurious La Mamounia Hotel, a five-star resort known for hosting royalty and Hollywood's elite. The vacation started out like something out of a billionaire's Instagram feed. They lounged by the pool, drank expensive cocktails, and indulged in gourmet dining. Anna, as always, acted like money was no object. She confidently assured everyone that her team was handling the payments. She booked private villas, spa treatments, and excursions, all without a second thought. But behind the scenes, the hotel staff was growing increasingly suspicious. When the resort attempted to charge Anna's credit card, the payment failed, multiple times. Hotel management became insistent that she settle the growing bill, which had reached over $60,000. Anna stalled, telling them that an international wire transfer was on its way from her European bank. It was the same trick she had used time and time again. But the hotel wasn't buying it. They demanded immediate payment, or they would involve the authorities. This is where things took a shocking turn. Feeling trapped, Anna turned to Rachel Williams, asking if she could put the charge on her company credit card just temporarily, assuring her that she'd be reimbursed within days. Rachel, believing Anna's story and fearing embarrassment in front of the hotel staff, reluctantly agreed. That decision would haunt her. Days passed, then weeks. The money never came. Rachel was left with a massive financial burden, one that took a devastating toll on her personal finances and mental health. When it became clear that Anna had no intention of paying her back, Rachel took action. She contacted the police, and this ultimately helped set the stage for Anna's downfall. Rachel later detailed her experience in a book titled My Friend Anna, The True Story of a Fake Heiress, offering a first-hand account of how she was manipulated and deceived by Anna's extravagant lies. The book became a bestseller and was one of the key sources for Netflix's Inventing Anna, further cementing Rachel's role as one of the key figures in exposing Anna's fraud. Anna's scams finally caught up with her. She was arrested on October 3, 2017, in a carefully orchestrated sting operation led by NYPD officer Michael McCaffrey, who was working with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. At the time, Sorokin was staying at Passages Malibu, a luxury rehab center in California. To lure her into a public setting where an arrest could be made more discreetly, McCaffrey collaborated with Rachel Williams. Rachel arranged to meet Anna for lunch at a restaurant outside the facility. As soon as Sorokin stepped off the premises, she was taken into custody by the Los Angeles Police Department. At her trial in 2019, she still played the part of the elite socialite. She even hired a celebrity stylist to dress her in designer outfits for her court appearances. But the jury wasn't buying the act. She was convicted on multiple counts of theft and grand larceny, sentenced to 4 to 12 years in prison, and ordered to pay restitution of over $200,000. Anna's story was so unbelievable that Hollywood couldn't resist turning it into a mini-series. In 2022, Netflix released Inventing Anna, created by Shonda Rhimes, starring Julia Garner as Anna Delvey. The show dramatized her rise and fall, showing how she manipulated people and navigated high society with nothing but sheer confidence and deception. The series took creative liberties, but much of it was based on real events, proving just how outrageous Anna's true story really was. Anna Delvey's story is a warning, a reminder that in the world of wealth and exclusivity, perception is reality, and sometimes all it takes to fool the elite is the right outfit, the right words, and just enough confidence. Thanks for joining us on the Hollywood Con. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into the dark side of the entertainment industry. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and always question the illusion.